Hello, welcome back to our channel, and this is our lesson 3 discussion in the subject industrial psychology. Okay, so our lesson 3 will talk about the idea of employee selection, recruiting, and interviewing. So we will talk about the importance of doing interviews, kung sa kinahanglan sa HR para ma-hire ka. Okay, that is our main goal here. So let's talk about this one. So a very important step in selecting employees is recruitment. So dapat na-adjust tayo tawag na recruitment para maka-apply tag trabaho or attracting people with the right qualification to apply for the job. That is recruitment. Kaya bang muhar ang HR ba? Inighar sa HR, dapat qualified ka sa trabaho. Di na sila muhar og someone nga dili qualified. Kanong muhar man ko nga dili makakaibaw. Right? So what's the purpose of our recruitment if I will hire you that you are not qualified? Okay, so that's the importance of recruitment, by the way. Okay, so there are two types of recruitment. We have the external recruitment and the internal recruitment. So when you talk about external recruitment, we will talk about sa gawas, meaning we are focusing on recruiting new employees. So wala ta nag-focus sa sulod na ata sa gawas mga recruit. That is external recruitment. When you talk about internal recruitment is naa na ka nagtrabaho na kadiha, right? Nagtrabaho na kadiha, gi-promote ka or gi-transfer kag lain nga department. So that is part of internal recruitment. May ubang company nga focus na sila sa internal recruitment, they will not hire from outside, mas prefer nila mo hire inside para mas dali na lang tudluan. And that is their choice. We cannot blame them. That is their choice. Okay, so when you talk about internal promotions, no, it can be competitive. And mahog nga non-competitive, but when you talk about competitive, kay naman mo sa sulod. So meaning na kaybaw na mo unsay skill ana imo ka kompetensya, kaybaw na pod nga uy kuan mo kay na siya bigatin kay na siya so mo pressure na ka because you feel nga dili ka competent kung mo apply ka. Okay, mahog po na siya nga non-competitive nga naman kay kung close na kay nimo imong boss, sayo na kayo pag-promote. Right? Ngayon mong boss, o bali na ka dito, i-promote ka na ako. So, mahog siya nga non-competitive. Mara siya, it's a friendly na lang nga promotion. Okay? So, where do you find mga vacancy or job vacancy? Kay bao naman tanong that we have My Nemo, Job Street, Internet, newspaper ads, mga campus recruitment, mga job fair, mga public employment agencies, referrals. So there are a lot of mga platforms no on how we can apply, especially nowadays. Dali na kayo mga apply. You can just send, upload, send, upload. So it's very easy to apply compare sa una. Right? Social media, referrals. So you have friends. Uy, nag-hire sila. Okay, manausahay sa'yo na kayo isod og trabaho, especially if nakaila na ka, if na friend nga nagtrabaho diha, so refer na lang siya. But why is it nga naman in mga company nga, mga hire og daghan, they are recruiting a lot of people. Why? Because possibly, ganahan sila nga ang ilahang company is diversified na ay Pinoy, na ay Americans, Australian. So, diversified. Meaning, ang skill sa Pinoy, i-mix na po sa lain nga skill. So, meaning, nindot ang dagan kung daghan. Okay, so the main reason is to increase applicant diversity. That's why we need to increase our qualification. Kung mga apply kag dako nga kumpanya, dili lang jud ka mo stick sa unsay na ang tiguhan nimo karon. Kaya ang mga kumpanya biya nangita na sila skillful, meaning daghan og skill, dili lang kay focus sa kani nga skill. Right? Kay grabe na ka competitive karong panahon. Dili sa yun mga apply? Yes. Lisod mga apply jud. It's not easy. Okay, the second, ngano na may mga empleyad, ngano na may mga kumpanya nga mo mang-recruit sila mga tao nga wala nang apply sa ilaha. Right? So naglibog ka no. Kanang gitawag nga mga mo pirate og empleyado, mga passive applicants man na sila. Why is it that they are called passive applicants? Because wala sila ning apply. Imo lang silang gi-inform that you have vacancy and then patas-an imong sweldo nila para mo apply sila para sa kumpanya. Especially if nagtrabaho ka. That's why kung the more kang mas mahal ka, when you talk about recruitment, no, if you are currently employed, kung nagtrabaho ka, na ang imong skill is lisod jud kaayo, na ay kumpanya mo, contact nimo, and then they will ask you, pila ka, or pila imong sweldo. Kaya na sa pila ka, no? Pila imong sweldo. Okay, so, inform ka. So, ilan na times 2, times 3, depending on your qualification. So when you talk about applying for a job, it's not all about papugi, no? You need or we need to increase our skill or our abilities para mas ganahan sila mo recruit sa tua. So that the company is confident enough nga, uy, ato ning kwaon. Nga naman, lisod kayo iyahang skill, way makatrabaho lain. Right? So the more kang lisod ang skill nga imong na-acquire because of your experience. That's why when you go abroad, kinahanglan jud og taas nga experience. Because the more experience you get, the more kang humot sa abroad. So, the more nindot ang offer because of your experience. Because ang ilang gibayran sa imo is your experience, not your physical appearance. You focus more on your experience. That's why build a lot of experience. Okay. So, the most important part of recruitment, no, is employment interview. So, kung nindot na kayo imong resume, cover letter, imong application letter, so they will invite you for an interview. And you have to be prepared for the interview because that is the only way for you to defend yourself or to sell, 'di ba? Imong ibaligya imong qualification. And then you can demand kung pila imong sweldo depending on your qualification. But take note, if fresh grad pa ka, do not demand. Right? Because you need to acquire sa experience before you can demand. Okay, so during interview, there are uh, three main factors of interview. So we have the structure, the style, and the medium. Okay, so kung moingon tag structure, naatay gitawag sa akong mag-interview tano, the structured interview and the unstructured interview. So when you talk about structured interview is naa siya'y standard nga pangutana. So standard siya. So kung ako'y nag-interview, dapat mo follow ko ato nga standard. Then dito ko mag-rate based sa imong gitubag during the question and answer, no? Ang unstructured interview is, ang interviewer is free lang siya mangutana sa imo, free to ask anything, anything under the sun. Wala siya rating. Depende lang sa feeling. Depende sa the way pagtubag. Normally, ang HR mas prefer na sila structured, no, kaysa yun man siya i-rate compare sa unstructured. Okay? So kung moingon tag style, when you talk about the style, kung interview ho na mo, employment interview, is that gitawag nga one-on-one interview, serial interview, return interviews, panel interview. So, labaw na if you're applying sa bigger companies, no, you will be pressured. Pressured nga naman, napay one-on-one interview, napay panel, napito ka buok nga managers, and they will ask you. So, if you are not confident about yourself, sao na lang. Right? If you are scared now, nga ako pala imong kaatubang, how much more kung mga apply kag trabaho. That's why we need to build your confidence now, not later. We need it now. Okay? So that's why I am pushing you. I am very pushy because this is part of industrial psychology. And I want you to embrace nga sa company na adyo tayo stricto nga pag-interview and then you need to speak in English. And it's a minimum requirement, speaking in English. Sao na lang. Okay? At least you've tried. I am not fluent also in speaking English, but I am really trying because it is our minimum requirements. When you talk about one-on-one, face-to-face with the manager, serial, naka-interview 9 to 10, second interview 10 to 11, third interview 11 to 12, perfect. That is a serial interview. And then return interview is You will be asked now, nahuman na ka. Second interview is ipatawag na pud ka tomorrow for another set of interview and another sets of interviews. Panel is, akong gingon ganina, you will be questioned by a lot of people, a lot of managers, and you have to defend yourself or to speak within yourself. Okay, some organizations, ilan ning i-mix, but normally, ang kasagaran is focus lang sa usan. Okay, so what are the mediums? So, may muntag interview ho na ka. So, natay uban, face-to-face interview, atubang mo, telephone, video conference, makita gyapon mo nag-video call, and then the written interview. So, instead of talking, you just have na mga questions, imong tubagon. Put it in writing. Okay, so the advantages of structured interview is nindot siya because it can predict murag ma-predict na nimo unsay abilidad sa tao. Right? Especially if you are a technical, if you are in industrial technology, na ubang interview nga since you are not dili kay ta expressive, but ang uban is patrabahoon mo actual. But normally na interview speaking. Okay, so but the problem of unstructured interview is because the interviewer is free to ask anything. Usahay, ang iyang pangutana is not related na sa pagtrabaho. Right? The lack of job relatedness. And then usahay lang ang iyahang decision when you talk about hiring is based on siyang feeling. Usahay kanibi atong feeling no kay mubari kung pag-start ni mog interview kung gisapot ka posible ma-affected pud ang hiring decision. So dapat mo na siya problema sa unstructured interview. At the same time, na usahay nga first impression, wala pa kay kaning istorya murag negative na ang tan-aw niya nimo. So, usahay maapektado sad ka. Okay, so that's why ang preferred jud sa mga company is more on the structured interviews. Okay, so let's talk about kung mga apply tag trabaho. What is the first requirement? Diba, you need to submit a cover letter or the application letter. So, the next is your resume or your curriculum vitae. So, dapat andam na siyang duha. Okay, so what is a cover letter? So, you will indicate unsay kinsa ka, dapat na ay salutation, na paragraph, o na ay signature. Mo na siya tulo, no? Salutation, paragraph, and signature. And you can check it in the internet on how to do it, how to do an application letter. And the second is your resume. Your resume is the formal summary of your qualification or background. Since you are still a student, so wala pa kayo background, but you can write your on the job training. That's an edge, right? Especially if nag-summer job ka. So that's why mas nindot unta sa student no nga estudyante pa lang na siya mga extracurricular activities nga related sa iyahang profession. Like if you are a welder, kung walay klase, nagunsa man ka. So at least ning trabaho di ka na. So that's an edge. Nindot na kay na siya ang paminaw sa HR. Oy, very hardworking student. Okay, so the characteristic of effective resume. First is the resume must be attractive and easy to read. Dapat kuan lang siya, simple lang. And then very attractive. Dili daghang color ha, very attractive, formal and attractive sa mata sa mubasa. The second is the resume cannot contain typing error, grammatical error, spelling. So mana siya, you need to check it in the internet example of resume. The third is the resume should make the applicant look as qualified as possible without lying. Dapat imo yung ipakita, no? Because when you are applying for a job, the first thing you will get is your resume. And then first impression jud, no? Kung nindot pagka purma, pagka butang imong resume, they will read it. And then, imo yung ipakita ang skill nga naa nimo nga related pod sa ilang gipangita. So that they makaingon sila, oy, pwede ni siya. Right? Para makita nila nga qualified ka sa trabaho. Okay, so there are types of resume. Nay ubang mga tao mabuhat ani ang uban pod dis ganahan ani nga format. So there are types three types of resume. We have the chronological resume. Mingon na sila nga tanan nga imuhang trabaho. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Imo na siyang i-arrange from most to least recent. So, unsay pinaka-recent nimo nga trabaho, down sa pinakadugay na nimo nga trabaho. Muna siyang gitawag na chronological order. And the second resume is the functional resume. So when you talk about functional is you will focus on your function. So from the latest nga function down to the pinakadugay na nga function. The third resume is a psychological resume is you will be presenting psychological principles relating sa imuhang gustong ipakita nila. Okay, so naman tayo tawag psychological resume. You will talk about your behavior, giunsa nimo pag-manage ang imong self when you encounter problems. So that is part of your psychological resume. Okay? So resume. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you again for our lesson for discussion in the subject industrial psychology. Thank you and God bless.